What if you virtually had a process for everything in your business and everything was documented and most were automated? You would have a business that you can easily step in and out of, leaving you with the white space to focus in on your zone of genius. And if you had a team in place, you're not only empowering them to run without you, but if any key person left your business, you and any other team members can step in and run the processes with ease. As your business matures, it's going to keep growing in its processes. And as it does, automation will help ease that processing speed, and it helps you build the right systems to sustain your business growth. Having strong and foundational processes and systems in place is the first step to business operations optimization. So today, I'm going to cover the 3 key areas that you'll want to focus in on to simplify and optimize your business operations. So keep watching. Hey CEOs, welcome back. If you're brand new here, I'm Theresa, Operations Coachsultant behind Loop Link, and I'm here to help you complete the loop in your business operations and expanding your agency with excellence. One of the ways I help you do that is by helping you shift from a CEO-dependent to a systems-dependent operations by leveraging your systems, processes, and people. It's about building the right systems for your business so that you can slowly remove yourself from the day-to-day functions and allow yourself to step into your visionary CEO role. Although we can automate much of your business, like Michael Gerber has said in the E-Myth, systems run the business and people run the systems. You're going to always want to have a human touch to your business. And that's where business operations optimization fits in. This is where we take your business operations, its systems and processes, and improve them to increase the efficiency so that you can achieve your business goals and have a business that feels simple, smooth, and streamlined. By optimizing your operations, it will help simplify your workflow, reduce redundancies, predict changes, and cultivate communication. The online business world is continuing to expand every single day. We continue to face competing with other companies and pursuing to stand out amongst the crowd. By optimizing your business operations, you can enjoy the benefits of reducing risk, optimizing your resources, stability, quality control, and end-to-end visibility in your processes. Why would you want to optimize your business operations? Business operations optimization can serve as a strategy for managing difficult situations and maintain trust from your customers, collaborators, and those in your market. So how do you approach optimization? I'd like to give you a short story, so stay with me. The other day, I was sitting down at my piano and I was beginning to play a song that I haven't played for over 10 years. At first, I tripped up a lot, but instead of simply starting over, I slowed right down to play key by key and figuring out where my fingers were struggling to reach the next key. And so I focused in on that frame and practiced until the fingers felt at ease with it. And then I proceeded to run it through the frame once again. This was the regular practice until I got through the frame and remembered how it felt and how it sounded like. This is the same ideology on how to approach optimization. Go back to the basics in the area where you're feeling clunky and it's not quite as streamlined, but just good enough in your operations. Operations is the back end of your business, which is comprised of thousands of processes. And so we'll want to hone in and focus in on one area at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed and break everything. I often get asked where to get started when we start the business operations optimization. So I often say start with the 3 key areas that you'll want to focus in on to optimize your business, which is sales, fulfillment, and people. The first focus area that we'll want to optimize and simplify is sales. Sales is a crucial part of any thriving business, and if it starts off weak or without the appropriate parameters and boundaries, there will be a downstream effect, especially if you have a team with project handoff points. There's 3 areas within sales that I want to focus in on. The first one is packaging and pricing. If you're running an agency, it can be very tempting to provide discounts or sweeten the pot with additional services or commitments, and then leveraging other tactics in order to close the deal. As your company grows, the sales process becomes more complicated and things may start falling through the cracks. In my corporate days, sales reps were notorious for over-committing and over-promising, which creates a culture of resentment in the operations team. No matter if you're planning to keep a small team or growing a big team, ask yourself, what is the kind of culture that you want to create in the long-term vision? The first step to optimization is evaluating your pricing and packaging and honor staying within 90% of the time. This creates a streamlined process and depth that is repeatable and reduces rework and any other questions asked. Create a one-page Google document that is an internal-facing document that outlines your packages, what's included in them, and what are the deliverables, and what are the pricing. This document will differ from your client-facing sales page because it's going to be way more detailed, especially if there are some deliverables that are outsourced. Your package and price list may also hold two pricings, one pricing at cost and one pricing at markup. Although we're in the service industry, it's good for you to understand your costs and where your markups are and where your profitability lies. If it is transparent to your team, they will know exactly how to work with customers and how to navigate difficult situations. The second area within sales is customer onboarding. What does your customer onboarding process look like? How quickly can you send out a proposal or a quote? How long does it take for a customer to execute your contract and make their first payment? How many emails did you send in between during this process? There are many agencies that still run this process manually instead of leveraging the power of technology and automation. If you have been running your onboarding process manually, it's time to look at ways to optimize this process. When you're leveraging any tech tools to assist you with your process, the key element that you need to have first and foremost is an established workflow. When should a client receive the proposal? When should you follow up with the proposal? What happens after the contract is executed? What are your best practices for starting work first? All of these needs to be clearly defined first before you begin adding tools and optimizing the process. If you've been doing it manually or no documentation exists, you can use my SOP template to get started with documenting the process. You'll want to sit down and write out your top 5 steps and include the level of sub-steps or details at each level. Once you have that mapped out, then you can review if there are any tools that can automate this process. One of the key tools that I highly recommend for service-based agencies is Dubsado. This is my secret workflow weapon. When you have standardized packages and pricing, Dubsado is powered to help you automate your onboarding process. With Dubsado, I only have to send out my one proposal, and then the app will complete the workflow from contract execution to invoicing and delivering the welcome package, all under 20 minutes. Make no mistake, I still monitor and manage the system to ensure that it's optimized and that my clients have gotten what they needed in order to get started. The third area within sales is the follow-up. You have prospects who you know would benefit from your services, but maybe they're simply not ready yet to join and come on board. You may have heard over and over again that the sale is in the follow-up. So it's key that you have a process for following up with your prospects or to keep nurturing the relationship to fruition. When these are in place, it will convert the customer within time. I have followed people for about a year before I opted into their services because I wasn't ready at that time. Leverage the tools to help you schedule email follow-ups or add in a customer relationship management tool to create the reminders for you. The tools can help you leverage and optimize this process, but the power lies in the best practice. During your week, time block or assign a recurring task to your sales team to reach out or send personalized emails to continue nurturing the relationship. The second key focus is on fulfillment optimization. No matter if you are a service-based agency or a SaaS agency, this is going to be the glue to your operations for retention, renewals, and referrals. I have seen many businesses start strong with fulfillment and fail to complete the loop to reduce churn and increase retention. So let's look at the 3 areas to help you optimize your fulfillment operations. The first area is customer success. Customer success is the methodology of ensuring that your clients and customers achieve their desired outcomes while using your products or services. This is where you'll want to help them achieve a win as quickly as possible. Customer success is relationship-focused client management that aligns your client and support goals. Do you have an existing customer success plan in place? A customer success plan can be short or long, depending on the type of services that you offer. It acts as a framework for success and walks the client or customers through how to achieve their desired outcomes. If you don't have a plan in place, here's how to get started. I always highly encourage that one of the first things that you send out to your clients is a welcome email. In this welcome email, not only does it welcome them to your business family, but also provides them with some simple steps to get started, whether it's to create a specific account access or to provide you access to their platforms. Whatever it may be, it's giving them some action items to exercise their excitement. Within that welcome email, you should always include a welcome package, which goes over ways to get in touch with you, boundaries and expectations, and remind them of the benefit of working together and how to leverage the service and how to leverage the partnership. To optimize this area, you'll want to document the process each step of the way in a very detailed manner. Along the way, ask yourself, why is this step needed and why is it important? This will help you and your team understand the intention at each step and weed out the steps that are not necessary. By approaching your process with this method, it will improve the efficiency to help your clients and customers reach their first value. The second area is communication. Communication is key when it comes to working with your clients. Clients tend to get antsy and unsure of their value with you if communication is minimal or has not been communicated well, leaving them to their own devices. When that happens, you're going to see that they'll be reaching out to you way more, and then suddenly they feel like they're managing you and your services, and then you could be feeling like you're being micromanaged. The best way to streamline communication is using a centralized meeting space like a project management tool or a help desk app like Freshdesk or Help Scout that utilizes a shared inbox like support at your domain. When you optimize your communication channels, suddenly you're staying ahead of the curve and being proactive instead of being reactive. You're no longer going to get different channels of communication coming in at once, and it's going to really optimize and streamline the communication points. So being proactive could look like sending a follow-up email at the end of every strategy call or providing a status update at the end of the week. The third area is customer excellence. Do you reach out to your customers for feedback on how your service feels? What are their thoughts and experiences, and how can you keep improving them? This evaluates and allows you the opportunity to adjust course if needed and helps you achieve customer happiness and excellence where they are extremely happy about working with you. It means that your customers love you more than anyone else in your industry and that they brag about you and your work to their friends and network. Here's a few ways how you can optimize this process. Schedule check-in emails that reminds them that you're happy to serve them and you are here for them. Send them a feedback survey every quarter and make sure that you follow up. When you go the extra mile in anticipating their needs, they will be more than happy to stick around. The third key focus is people optimization. How you grow your business is completely up to you. There are a lot of entrepreneurs and young business owners who prefer to leverage automation and systems than to people manage because that's simply where they're not at yet. Or maybe they don't desire to have teams or a big team. Here's the reality though. Success is together. To keep scaling successfully, you'll need to have support around you. Otherwise, you'll burn out, you'll end up working crazy hours and lose the joy that you once had in your early stages of business. An area that you'll want to focus on optimizing is your hiring process. Because hiring isn't necessarily a day-to-day function, but more like a project-based occurrence. Because it's on demand, you'll want to make sure that you have a checklist in place for when you are hiring and then onboarding new team members. When you are hiring, do you have an application process? Where does it take them after the application is done? Where does the information get funneled through to your backend? When you have clarity on this process and what it looks like, it will streamline your hiring process with ease. You'll also want to make sure that you have a rubric matrix to assist you with the shortlisting process. You can already see that there's probably a few sub-processes that funnels into the hiring process itself. Prior to hiring, you'll want to make sure that each role is documented. When a role is defined, your team members will work with confidence and clarity in understanding what their expectations are and what their success will look like. Just because their responsibilities are written out doesn't mean that they are limited to that scope, unless if it's specified in their contract. If they're strictly specialized contractors, I covered that in my video where I explained the difference between hiring an employee versus an independent contractor. This will ensure that you are attracting the right hire and setting the right salary or budget for a specialist or a generalist and getting the right help. Another area that will improve your people optimization is training. As you continue to grow your team, schedule in some time for training. Every quarter, you should be meeting with your team member to evaluate their performance and how to better the partnership together. A part of it will include the training and development. This is where you can set up a structured training path or plan on where you want to grow your team member to. You can always hire new people to fill the higher level roles in your business, but what if you are already grooming talent for it? You'll want to optimize them with a succession path. For example, a project coordinator getting groomed to become a project manager, or a client success specialist grooming to be a client success manager. I make it a requirement for my team members to include 4 hours of paid training time in a month because of the fast-paced nature of our digital and technology-driven era. They need the time to be able to keep up to date with new tools, tech, and tactics and trends. This in turn will motivate them to stay loyal to you and your business because they'll feel valued and they feel like you are continuing to invest in them. Whew! We covered a lot. I hope that through this video, you've walked away with some tangible strategies to apply and begin optimizing your business operations. Remember that Rome wasn't built in one day, and so business operations optimizations will take time as well. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all of this information and feeling like you're unsure where to start, the first place to start is with yourself. Lock off a CEO day where it's just you and your paper and start writing down the 3 major systems of your business, which should include sales, fulfillment, and people. If you don't have a team yet, then replace it with something else, such as maybe accounting or your service. Then list out where your biggest needs are. What feels clunky, where some of the quick wins and low-hanging fruit lies, and so forth. Brainstorm what you can do to improve and optimize, and then schedule in the time to get it done or delegate it to a team member. You can also download my business organization checklist in the link below to help you get started. So which areas of your business do you feel like you can start optimizing on? Leave your feedback and questions in the comment section below. Make sure you download your free organization checklist. If this video was helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends and hit the like button so I know to make more videos like this. I'm Theresa, Operations Coachsultant, and I'll see you in the next one.